Mr. Tayal, we've heard a lot about you across different forums speaking about Education 4.0. And I think somewhere way back in 2019, you did a summit around that. So what is your belief on that? How much gap have we covered since you started and spoke about Education 4.0 until today? And how do you see the journey moving forward?
See, in 2019, now we are in 2022. Lot many things have been covered. So implementation of lot many things into when you start measuring the attainments, when you start working on sustainability, when you start working on project-based learning, all these kind of things, like it's very easy to say rather than like implementing into practical, practical field. So now you have to sensitize the students, you have to sensitize the teachers, you have to overhaul the whole system. So that takes, it's quite a pain that even the society don't give you that much of freedom to do it. But thanks to this COVID, because it has acted as a blessing in disguise, the people have started realizing the importance of what blended learning is. So how you have to take use of both the system online and offline. So there are not many different platforms which the students they experience during this COVID era. So now this has definitely accelerated the implementation of Education 4.0 into the real learning which the students take in the classes. Now the students are very much eager to spend their hours in the Idea Lab or the Startup Incubation Center. They have started interacting with each other. They have, the conversation has taken a lot of change. The nature of the conversation with the students used to have prior to this COVID era and after this COVID era, because now they are talking more in practical terms, more about like how they can start their own business, how to explore a different particular idea, and what are the different opportunities which are available. So the things are moving, and it's very, I would say it's a very positive change, and it will bring, very, positive change in the education scenario, because the AICT, the CBSE, and everyone, the ecosystem, they are, in this process of making it happen. The people are having workshops, the seminars, to take it further. So that is very encouraging. Now, there are not many hurdles and many, breakers in between. So the whole ecosystem is supporting you to how to implement it and to go further.
As we talk today, and as being a visionary, being a civil education since the time you started the institution way back in 2006, it's been close to 16 years now. And you've seen multiple set of students evolving over different timelines. Maybe the skill sets of the students passed out from the initial batch to the current set of skill sets that are coming in with the advent of emerging technologies, emerging trends in management and other areas. What is as per your experience, as per your understanding, what are the kind of skill sets you believe will be the key drivers for the next generation of learners and students? The key skill sets that we are looking at.
Now, no company wants the things which is very stereotyped. No company wants the things like the students come up with some kind of a memorizing skills. They want people who are creative. They want people who have critical thinking. They want people who can take the company out of some kind of trouble, some kind of a problem. So they need problem solvers. They need go-getters. They need the people who bring some new ideas to the organization. So these kind of the skill sets every company want. Apart from the domain knowledge. The domain knowledge would be in any of the emerging areas. They want so now the problem is when you do a very conventional course, and say even if you're doing a BTech in computer science, but if you're not learning beyond the curriculum, then definitely you are lacking somewhere. So you need to be up to date regarding the technology. You need to be more creative. You need to be more outcome-based approach. You should have that kind of an outcome-based approach that you bring some solution on the table, right? So that is, the first key aspects I would say that the student should possess. And whenever they get into any kind of a professional, course, they should look into kind of a system that where they want to be, right? So and how they can prepare for that kind of a system, and then start working on projects, right? So it's good if you study your books, but if you study more beyond the books, then really you're gonna hit the target.
AICT has introduced BTech Honors, and PIET happens to be one of the select few institutions in the country who have introduced BTech Honors in addition to the normal BTech program. For the people around, could you just explain the fundamental difference between BTech and BTech Honors, and if someone wants to offer BTech Honors, why he or she should go for BTech Honors?
BTech Honors is it's based on, for every course you do, there's some credits attached to it. So when you do a BTech course, there's 160 credits attached to it, which means that 40 credits is given, for every year. But when you do BTech Honors, it's 180 credits. That means another 20 more credits are added into it. So besides credits, so what's in these credits and how we do it? So the difference is, like when we do BTech Honors, then you have that flexibility of choosing the minor and the major specializations. Like if you are into mechanical and if you want to do something related to some EC specialization, so that there you have that freedom of choosing a EC specialization along with your mechanical. So the objective is, like, if you want to get into some kind of an emerging areas, then you have that kind of flexibility. Earlier it was not given. So we are moving into the new education policy and taking into account Education 4.0 and the requirements of the industry. So you need to be updated into the new technological areas, and which requires multidisciplinary inputs and specialty. So that is what the key aspect is, and students should get exposure into these new emerging areas. So and we don't have BTech specialization in every particular domain, like in blockchain, like in IoT, like in AR VR, or many other things. But with this, you can do a lot many things related to, if you have chosen CSC, you can do CSC plus specialization in AR and VR, or specialization in robotics, or specialization into blockchain. So that is kind of a freedom the students have got now with introduction of all these courses.
I think there's a lot of people around this Haryana belt. We did a small research also, where a lot of people say that you are the brain behind one of Haryana's biggest incubation and startup center. What was your thought when you came up with the startup center that has come up at PIET? And I think you're also offering this space to the industry, to the young startups from nearby area to come and work here. So what was the entire thought, the driving motivation, the philosophy in building up the startup incubation center, as well as allowing people from outside to come and work at the space that is given?
The very first thing which comes to our mind is it's like the pro nation or pro India concept. That if you want to move ahead, in the league of the nations, if you want to be, to be called as a developed nation. So the thing is, you have to look inwards. You have to look and make your young generation, capable of doing things. And to do that, you need to believe in this young generation. And without startup incubation center, without investing in bringing all the dots together, where the accelerators, where the mentors, where the industry people, they all come under one roof and start working on new ideas and start giving them the seed funding, the angel funding, and all that is required, to motivate and facilitate the students to, come up with their own startups. So this is one, major thing which, moves everyone in India now, because, taking account from the top like from the Prime Minister desk, to everyone, like whether they are from any kind of an education domain, some kind of an authorities or the teachers or the principals, everyone wants India to move forward and to make them more Atmanirbhar. And to do so, you don't have to rely on the government jobs, you don't have to rely on even the multinational jobs. So you have to create multinationals of your own, and to do that, you need to innovate and ideate, and to facilitate these ideas to go to the next stage into the startups. You need this kind of incubation centers.
What would be your advice to the next generation of students and the teachers who are coming forward? Because you actually have students as well as teachers. So it's also very important institution is actually fueled by the kind of teachers or the academia that you have. So what's your vision when you actually look at an academia that comes in and the way they guide a student for the next generation?
The teachers, the academicians and all, the people who get in touch with the students, is don't spoon feed them, right? Give them the challenges, give them the opportunities, engage them in some kind of a sustainable learning, give them some real projects. If they are into management, give them the real case studies. Take them to the real world. Ask the companies to come closer to your institution, have some kind of a partnership with the institutions, like the industries, wherein they can collaborate and they can solve the issues which really means something, right? So it is not just about writing the exams for your semesters. It is solving problems which comes your way and learning from these problems. So that is, if they can inculcate all these things into their education, into their curriculum, pedagogy, so I guess we will be half done. But this is the way to go. So then the rest of the things the students gonna do themselves. So the mentor's job is only to facilitate them, only to guide them, only to motivate them, and to give them the right, the right areas where they're gonna work.